Troopers and grinders, welcome to Tank Tier List Tuesday, where your boy Hank the Tank discusses the strangest and most repulsive of MMA media. I mean, sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. It's honestly all over the place, but whatever piques the Troopers and grinders' interests regarding the lowest to the highest tiers of MMA memorabilia and history is what Hank the Tank has for you today. A viewer recommended every single time, and what the Troopers and grinders thought was a good idea this time: the most brutal injuries in MMA history. And I will oblige, Troopers and grinders, because in this blood sport, there sure are a lot of them, guys. So, honestly, I could have expanded this list to 40, 50, 60, but I got it limited to 10 right now, and hopefully the Troopers and grinders can give me some recommendations to increase the number over time. But yeah, I got 10 for you. Want to sort of keep it brief because I've been busy all day with certain races, but now that has come to a close, and I'm ready to take my mind off of them. And yeah, hey, hope you're doing well. I'm doing all right. Hey, girl, this stream is definitely going to help me. Excited for this tier list. I'm glad to hear it. Hey, girl, happy that you're excited. But yeah, brutal MMA injuries. It comes with the territory, right? It's what you think of when you think of fights. You think noses broken, eyes bloody, hair ripped out, legs, arms broken, fists broken. And there's plenty more where that came from. I'm not going to settle for 10. I'm going to hope that I get some viewer recommendations during the stream and that we could have a big one. But I have 10 at the moment. It's all I could come up with within the last couple days. So let's share my tier list, shall we? Have a bit of an X-ray machine level visual format for this one. And I hope that there are some that you can recognize so far. I hope that my screen is zoomed in enough that you can see. But yeah, I picked out some of the worst that I've seen in multiple MMA videos, tier lists, general lists, and personal memorable injuries that have happened as of late. And yeah, I'm compiling it all together. So make sure to add some recommendations for injuries that are just come off the top of your dome. But the first one I want to talk about, oh man, this is a sad one just because of how it stunted his potential. I am talking, of course, about a man by the name of, here we go. I'm talking about Vicente Luque. There he is. While we're in a sad mood tonight, at least in my opinion, we could talk about this. Here we go. Yeah. And he suffered a brain bleed, but in scientific terms, he suffered what was called a subdural hematoma, but basically resulted in extra room for blood to overflow in the brain. He was suffered against Geoff Neal at UFC Fight Night Santos versus Hill. People forget, man. He was beaten the shit out of by Neal, finished in round 3. He was suspended from competition for a year by the Nevada State Athletic Commission because it was so bad an injury that they were literally fearing for his life. Turned into a year-long ban because they'd never dealt with something on this level before. This is the same kind of injury that gets boxers killed in the ring, and he's very lucky that it didn't happen to him in the cage against Geoff Neal. But we saw with his fight against RDA that Hands of Steel Geoff Neal packs a fucking wallop. But he's lucky that he only returned to MMA through the endorsements of independent neurologists and neurosurgeons. But really, he hasn't looked the same since. So, yeah, it is what it is. I feel bad for Luque just because it seemed like he was never really the same fighter after this. Very tentative. You saw with his fight against Joaquin Buckley that as soon as Buckley got him down, Luque covered up. Wanted to take no injury to the head because he knew that if he was hitting the temple or the front, that he might burst open another blood vessel near the brain. He's very lucky that he managed to have another fight after this. But yeah, he got a layup in Tony and Nick Diaz at the very least, so he should be able to bounce back. Not for long though, with a permanent injury like this. Crazy how they're driving in truckloads of bouts into Philly and have Pennsylvania frozen on 90%. Yeah, that's interesting. It's bizarre. It's a very close races in the blue wall, but to be honest, Deadpool, and I'll be straightforward with you. I'm not going to cope about this. I think he's going to win, unfortunately because of my political beliefs. But that's just the mentality I'm going to have until tomorrow. We'll see what happens. It is what it is. I've just accepted it, and I put in the work today to make sure that my electoral democracy in California is kept safe. I did my job, and the country's going to be how the country's going to be. So at this point, I don't give a shit about what's going on. Hey Hank, how are you doing? Not great, Andrew B, but honestly this stream is helping out. I'm feeling better. We know Deadpool, we're trying to enjoy life a little bit. Yeah, we're talking about MMA at the moment. I would encourage to just keep it about MMA since I put this whole thing together. If you have any recommendations for brutal MMA injuries you want me to put on the tier list, let me know. But yeah, brain bleed. Yeah, that's bad, man. I mean, you'll be surprised, hey girl. There are some that might be worse. Actually, you know what? It makes sense. Makes sense to put it at S just because it ruined such a great striker in Vicente Luque. And I mean, it has to be the reason why he, completely covered up immediately against Joaquin Buckley. So, because it really did damage to a career, I think it does make sense to put that at S tier. Well, let me put it forward. Rip Luque. At least he'll have a bounce back. I imagine Cyborg is on the list. Yeah, because of the weight cut, right? Oh, wait, which was it? Give me 1 second. Chris Cyborg injury. Are you talking Chris Cyborg or there's another guy named Cyborg? Yeah. Cyborg Santos. Yeah, what was his name? Cyborg Santos. Evangelista Santos. I think that might be what you're talking about. But Chris Cyborg also had a horrible. Yes, exactly. Yep, you're right, Deadpool. There you go. Back at it again with the late night MMA. Hope you boys are blessed. Thank you, Antween. I don't think I am, but I'm gonna keep going. Brain injuries are extremely scary to me. Yeah, and they're not honestly they're not rare because they develop over time in MMA. But this one was more sudden, and that's why it's really scary. No male cyborg MVP. Yep, you're on the mark, Deadpool. So keep coming up with some injuries. I need to increase the list. The knee from MVP. Yeah, I'll never forget that. We're good. Never speak out of contract of other streams. So that's nice. Evangelista. Yeah, we'll get to him. Do you guys want me to mention him next, or do you want me to get to the good stuff at the very end? If you could even call it the good stuff. I'm assuming that he beats Nick Diaz, but honestly, guys, with this year in MMA, there's no such thing as underdogs anymore. There's no such thing. Like I've been picking underdog. Favorites are just getting it done from front to back, even if there's no logic to it. So there's no miracles in MMA, just as there are no miracles in politics. Condit knee injury, in my opinion, he was never the same despite arguably beating Lawler. Okay, I'll include that. Let me put it on the list. There we go. Condit knee injury. Yeah, there are certain injuries that really debilitate careers, especially when it comes to the leg, because movement is so important to having speed and power. Tommy Big Speed. There you go, Condit knee injury. My dad called everything, by the way. Luque Brain. Horrible. How hard does Joff Neal hit? Enough to finish RDA in like a minute. I hope MVP will be all right. Who's he fighting? MVP next fight. Michael, not that Michael Page. UFC. 1 second, guys. Here we go. Bum. I don't think he's booked right now. Yeah, he's not booked. What's the next opponent for MVP, you guys? We can save suggestions for last, but it's good to have them here. Chris Weidman and Anderson Silva leg break. You're onto something. Good work. MVP will fight Charles Bullitt at 185. That would be a fun fight. How do y'all feel about Luque versus Diaz in December? Not looking good for Diaz, which is a good thing for Luque. Diaz is 80, yeah, mentally and physically. And meanwhile, Nate Diaz is 12. And I'll get to that on Hank's Think Tank. Yo, Antoine, what is up, Andrew? Willis, how are you doing? Oh man, I'm really happy for the community we got in here. It's good to see you guys. Let's get to our next injury. Oh brother, you guys know this one. Oh, hold on. Tyrone after his rib. Yep. Oh, my rib. Yeah, I'll include that in there. Got to get this stuff out of the way early. There we go. Woodley rib. And Holland recently injured his rib, but it wasn't on the level as well as meme ability of Woodley's rib. Oh, my rib. Here we go. Next one. Hard to forget this one. It's the cyborg. the Cyclops, should I say, Mike? Mac Bisping, where are you? La Candela. I love you, Mike. See you soon, boy. Getting destroyed by EPO Vitor Belfort. And what was it? Detached retina in his right eye from the head kick of Vitor Belfort at UFC on FX7. Remember when UFC was on Fox and then Junior Dos Santos ruined it all? He fought 3 months later after getting an injury and getting absolutely debilitated for the rest of his days by Vitor Belfort. Put off surgery until after his fight. Who was it with? Who did Michael Bisping fight after Vitor Belfort? Opponent after Vitor Belfort. It wasn't Chael Sonnen. No way was it fucking Sonnen. Let me take a look. It's in a book, reading Rainbow. It was some scrub, I remember. Yeah, it was Alan Belcher. Technical decision with Alan Belcher. 3 months later, fought Belcher. Really stupid idea because then after he won that fight, he had 6 procedures and the eye was irreparable. And Michael is still blind in his right eye, and yet still won a world championship with one eye, which no one can take away from him. But he'll still never see with both eyes again. And weird footage of Bisping putting in his plastic eye covering to make the right eye look like it's pointed straight forward is disturbing visually. And now he's dealing with 2 spinal fusions. Poor Bisping. The guy can't catch a break. Physically, he is destroyed. Kevin Holland rib, exactly. Overeem lip, yes. And I'll get to that. Missed you in here live. I'm here. I back, guys. Yeah, Bisping one was so bad. Vitor shinned him so hard, he lost a damn eye. Just chilling right now. I'm about to eat. Lovely. McGregor leg surely up there. All right, I'll get to that one. Great suggestion with Overeem. All right, here we go. Overeem and Conor McGregor. Red panty night, baby. Woo! God bless. See you at never. There we go. Same. I just had my midnight snacks. Nogueira getting his arm destroyed by Mir. Also, Belcher whooped Palhares, which is great because Palhares is a sadistic bastard, and he deserved to get chin. Where are we ranking this? Where are we ranking Bisping losing his eye? What do you think, guys? Hey, I'm Bick. John Jones toe injury. I'll get to that one. MVP Cyborg knee. Yep. But should it go in A or should it go in S? Because it's bad enough that, yeah, S in my opinion. Yeah, because no one else has lost vision in their eye completely. You know what's happening that you know who? Yeah, I know what's happening. No reason to cry over it. Just got to keep pushing forward. That's just, it is what it is. I accept it. Eventually I'm gonna have to make this smaller. Yeah, I'll make this one smaller. There'll probably be plenty of S's in here. Lots of L's too. S. F. I mean, it's pretty bad for his eye. There's no F tier, Andrew, but that is based to have an F tier. Joanna, when she fought Zhang, that forehead, Mangala's he's killing it right now. He's getting them all right. So yeah, poor Michael Bisping. Hey, at least he got a really good commentary job after he was done fighting. The guy's pretty much set for life, right? If that cost him an eye, so be it. Are you beefing with someone again, Andrew? He's always beefing with somebody. Maybe he's beefing with me too. I have to get some water really quick. I'll be back, guys. In the meantime, come up with some more ideas for injuries. I'll be right back. Matt Mitrione, you're killing it. Miguel is on the right mindset right now. MMA is dangerous. Yeah, definitely. More dangerous than we think it is. When we get our next freak injury, it's gonna remind us. Let's not talk about Hey Girl. Tom Aspinall got injured. Yes, that is right. But is that really that bad? Just fuck the knee in the fight. That is true. Not beefing with anyone. He was beefing with me on his streaks. Interesting. All right, I'll try to have that too. I'll consider Aspinall. It needs to have a good C tier because he fully recovered from it. Like that, you got to take that into account. It wasn't a permanent injury. That's why some of these I got to put lower. Also, there's probably going to be a bunch of injuries that you guys consider S that we're going to have to filter out. Streams, yeah, it is what it. Don't focus on the morons, Andrew. That's what I'll say. Oh yeah, again, Mgal called it. Here we go. Oh, I chose the gnarliest version of this image. Ooh, oh, hey, look at that. She's fucking she's the Martian from Flintstones, or the he's Jimmy Neutron as well. Got to think of some, or that character with gigantism in The Simpsons. This is the theme song, Jimmy Neutron. Got a blast with big heads. Because I'm surely forgetting something. What does she look like? There's this one freaking character. Trying to think of it. Yeah, Jimmy Neutron. Yeah, it's got to be Jimmy Neutron. Or maybe MODOK as well. But look at that shit, dude. That's fucking crazy. Megamind, that's it. Yes, that's it. There it is, Megamind. Ooh, nasty, dude. I gotta make this image smaller. I think it's freaking people out. When I fought, Muay Thai knee injuries are the most painful out of anything I've had. Jesus. Yeah. It's a giant fucking sledgehammer to the dome. Keep your head up, Andrew. Terry Edom, he seemed to went crazy after that knockout. I'll consider Terry. Megamind, Mike Perry knows. Yeah, oh yeah, that's right. Jesus Christ. Hey, No Chill, how's it going, man? Let me put. Okay, so yeah, this one was nasty, but to be fair, guys, she did recover from this. She looked great after like a couple days of just, evacuating the blood and the pus. And I'll give a description as to how this injury happened for those who don't know. Joanna Jędrzejczyk, huge hematoma on her forehead during her first fight with Zhang Weili, developed after a punch opened up the skin layer on her forehead, keeping the blood outside of her skull contained. Produced a massive blood clot that only got worse with another punch from Weili, which opened up the blood overflow even further and allowed it to pour into the head's lateral region. Pressure from towels and ice packs couldn't alleviate the damage done at all, and a surgical removal of the clot was required. Still looked super pretty afterwards, did Joanna, and she's a real fucking gem, and she's a fucking trooper. Hey, No Chill. Luque broke that virgin nose. Yikes. Man, Luque caused some fucking messed up injuries too. They all just destroy each other's lives, don't they? Perry knows. Perry knows. Knows what? Hey girl, W. A. Some eye pokes are horrible injuries. That is true, and I'm gonna have one of them there. Very horrible. Yeah. She did make it through, but that's just a crazy injury to have. That it's just one specific spot. And she punched it a second time too, on the exact same spot, and that only made it worse. Oh, this is better. Went from here, is this general location, to here, which made it just oval shaped. Really freaking messed up. UFC Fight for the Troops event was brutal for injuries. You got to give me some examples. Chris Weidman shoved his finger into Bruno Silva's eye. Yes. Ooh, that's bad. There are plenty of examples. I'm going to have definitely more options for this list that I'll get to. Let me put Silva in there. Man, Weidman has been he's been the giver of and receiver of so many fucking injuries, dude. Man has ruined lives and had his life ruined. Seems like a lot of the guys who get the worst injuries are the ones who dish out the worst injuries too. Jamal Hill versus Paul Craig, broken arm. That is true. He did break his arm, but he recovered from that at the same time. Corey Hill snapped his leg. There you go. Good work from Black Betty. Ben Saunders made Brandon Wolf's head look like Joanna's. It might be minor enough that I don't include because I don't want to repeat these injuries. But you're right on Corey Hill for sure. Hey, Black Betty, bam, balam. I'll consider eye poke and then Hill arm. And there's plenty to draw from. I remember that. Weidman has had like 20 surgeries. You guys should honestly retire. But he miraculously won against Bruno Silva, so maybe he shouldn't back down. He's got crazy Glover Teixeira luck. Steve Cantwell dislocated Razak Al Hassan's arm with an armbar. Yeah, bunch. We got to pick the most brutal of the bunch when it comes to arm injuries. Sunni will have no legs. Joe Pfeiffer broke his arm. Remember that. A lot of broken arms and broken hearts as well. No legs? Yeah, exactly. He's going to be confined to a wheelchair, paralyzed from the waist down. What happened to be like Joe Pfeiffer? Jack Hermanson happened to Joe Pfeiffer. That is what happened. All right, so A tier sounds good. Let's get her down here. All right, there we go. Let's move on to my next injury, shall we? Yes. These are memorable. I chose some really memorable ones, but we'll get into the less memorable stuff. Honestly, guys, you guys can interact. I'm gonna add some images where the gaps are. Plus, there's a better replacement image I have for a certain fight, which I'll get to. Versus Robbie. How are you guys doing tonight? Let me know. Definitely a memorable night. Regardless of which side we're on, because, let's not go around the fucking edges here. There's a very specific moment in time that we're all involved with, and no matter if we're indifferent, if we're on different sides, we can all just enjoy some MMA. Keep our minds off of different things. Or you can mention it if you want, but this is an MMA stream. But either way, we're going to keep calm and carry on and just hope for the best. That's what all of us want, right? I hope that's what all of us want. And then let's get to Condit knee injury. You guys who mentioned these injuries, try definitely once I get to them, try to give a description as to why they're so brutal. A torn ACL and partially torn meniscus. Jesus. All right, there's some. One. There we go. Oops. Good. That's fine. Next. Woodley. Oh, my rib. Blowing in and out of love, in and out of love with you. Going in and out of love, in and out of love with you. God, he was such an annoying fucking champ. So glad that Usman whooped his ass. You know, say what you want about Usman. The guy's definitely a racist piece of shit. And definitely not the cleanest athlete in the world, but he did remove Tyron Woodley from the championship picture and got him KO'd by Jake Paul. So we got to thank Usman for that. And also, he's stepping up, man. He's the what's the word? He's the stepdad who stepped up. You know, he's gone forever, and then he finally shows up, and he actually does something brave. He's been showing up on short notice for the last 2 fucking fights. I guarantee you, he's gonna be fighting Shavkat Rakhmonov too. So, guys is fucking brave. You got to give him that, especially with that destroyed knee. You want to talk about Carlos Condit injuring his knee? He's been that knee's done. It is done. So the fact that he's even still trying to compete is nothing short of a miracle. Here we go. There's a nasty ass image. And I'm assuming we're all thinking that Shavkat destroys Usman. There's no two ways. And he did make it close with Hamzat. Got to give him credit. People forget, man. But at the same time, it's fucking Shavkat, dude, and he's gonna snap Usman's leg. I'm sorry. McGregor leg. Actually, let me shift. Perry nose, yeah. Mike Perry nose. There we go. One more, and then I'll actually I'll start reading chat. God damn, that's out of like a macabre horror movie, dude. Ugh, I hate looking at that, dude. Fucking gross, man. And you'll know it when you see it. Shite. Unspeakable goosebumps. Bum 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 bum. I love goosebumps. All right, there we go. And now I'm ready. Oh, Skatesman's here. Nice. Foot good. I'm good. Doing well. Got out of work early today after a busy day. I'm glad for that. Thanks for asking. I think your boy Trump's gonna win, Hank. Thanks for bringing up politics again, Skatesman. Appreciate it. At least I gave you 7. Now you have 3 watching. Yeah. Hey, girl. Yeah, I'm doing this stream to try to take my mind off of it, to be honest. At least it's climbing. Hello, Skatesman. Usman isn't the same. His knees are done. I would never count the dog out of the fight. Don't forget that guy that almost lost his ear. Oh, yeah. Big fucking swelling cauliflower ear. I'll consider that. Almost lost ear. Let me put that in. But I need to get into my next injury. For anyone who's still around, it's nice having you here. Almost lost ear. UFC. Okay. Next. Let's get to the next one. All right. Here we go. Yeah. Here we go. You better know this one. December 2013 and April 2021, the dates that both Anderson Silva and Chris Weidman broke their legs throwing a kick in the UFC. No, guy's ear was hanging off his head, right? UFC fight. Ugh. Like literally was cut, no cauliflower. That's rough. You'll have to try to find the name for me. But anyway, yeah. Nasty stuff, guys. Nasty stuff between these. Look at those fucking jello legs, man. Anderson Silva and Chris Weidman's leg breaks. Silva suffered against Weidman in their rematch for the UFC middleweight championship at UFC 168. Weidman's was 8 years later against Uriah Hall in their rematch at UFC 261. Took Silva nearly a year to recover from his break. And for Weidman, it took over 2 years. Both men found a way to bounce back as fighters, but these breaks are probably 2 of the nastiest injuries to ever watch live, especially Weidman's. Ugh, I can't get when it fucking folded in on itself and when the bones hit each other. God, Christ almighty. The bizarre coincidence of both men breaking their legs in the exact same way 8 years apart from each other makes them even more creepy, in my opinion. Can't remember who it was, but I think it was 2020. I'll look it up. I'm going to bed. See ya. At least I gave you 7. No problem, Andrew. We don't have to worry about view counts here, brother. I'm just happy that anybody showed up. It's a very it's a non-MMA focused night. It was Ramiz Brahimaj. Not only that, Anderson's last fight was Uriah. Oof, God, it's just so creepy. It's such a strange coincidence, like it was fate, almost. Ramos Brahimaj. Never mind, he posted it. Yeah. Weird. Just weird that those two, their timelines sort of mixed up. Yeah, I don't even like looking at it, man. Where are we ranking it, though? Where are we ranking it in terms of brutality? Because Joanna, she healed from. To be fair, Anderson Silva was able to get a win after he broke his leg. Only one win, but it was a win. And then Chris Weidman was able to come back with a win. Whatever, I got it first. You got it through Hager. Oh, brother. My comments are posting so behind. Those have got to be S. Connor, too. Yeah, but with some of the injuries, man, the S tier is going to get filled up quite a bit. So I think at some point we're going to have to lower the bar a little bit. But I'll put it up at S in the meantime. There we go. Yes. Yes at S. God damn. Well, it's debatable that a KO is a more vicious injury than a bone break. Yeah, but that KO resulted in a brain bleed that almost killed somebody. The leg injuries of Weidman and Silva didn't kill them, but they were debilitating. And Michael Bisping lost a part of his body forever. You know, your brain doesn't heal like your bones do. Yeah, that's why I think I got to put the brain injury up there. Man, yeah, S tier is going to get filled up, and eventually we're going to have to start cutting some corners. Let's get to my next big injury, shall we? Actually, let me add some and I'll stop sharing too so that I can insert some images. Dum, 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 dum. But honestly, this stream is making me feel a lot better. So I again I appreciate everybody who's here to enjoy some MMA with me. And I like doing the channel and it helps me feel relaxed, honestly. Used to be a source of stress for me, but now it's honestly I think it's going to be more and more of an escape. So I appreciate everybody who's helping me out. Oh, God almighty. God, why do we watch this shit, man? Crazy. Plus, I got things to watch. I got things to do. I got my entertainment. Life goes on long after the thrill of living is gone. Boo doo doo doo. Boom doo. You got a fast car. Take it with me. We can fly away. Here we go. Next. Also, I'm just super tired from working the whole day, so don't have any energy left to give. Yes, it's perfect. It's not perfect. It's fucking horrifying, but I'll put it on it. Here we go. Yeah, you guys are gonna see this. Okay. Oh. There we go. Let me remove everything I put up here. There we go. All right. Now I'm ready. Oh, let me share the screen again with you guys. No, that's fair. John McCarthy has a great debate about that. I don't even know. The channel is a way for me to feel relaxed. It honestly is now. Compared to the fucking real world and what we're gonna be dealing with the next 4 years, this is tame. So I gotta thank God for what I got. It's a moment of realization for me. Let's just say that, especially if we keep with the same schedule that we now have. Like, it's going to be an easy fucking ride compared to this shit. I think he's doing better, real growth. I think I'm doing better. I'm staying skeptical but hopeful. Understandable. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Gotta keep my head on straight and take and appreciate what I got at the moment because it's good. All right, let's share again. Honestly, guys, like it's really I don't even know what to fucking think. In terms of my opinions towards MMA, my investment isn't even there anymore to the point where I can even get emotional. No political comments, Gatesman, exactly. There you go. But yeah, I just when I consider like everything outside of MMA, this is like now I realize how childish I am. So if anything, it makes me feel more relaxed. And I'm serious. I'm being dead serious with you. Maybe that mindset will change as because personal things will still happen. But I'm over it. So anyway, let's get to our next injury, shall we? Yeah, this is the one everybody's talking about. Yeah. Yeah. Let me talk to you. Here we go. The one, the only. Knee to the fucking dome, dented skull of Evangelista Cyborg Santos. Look at that, man. Look at the fucking line right there. His face is just pounded in. His big fucking blotch on his nose. That eye looks like it's out of place. Ugh. Let me describe this. Evangelista Cyborg Santos, compound fracture on the front of his skull due to a flying knee to the head from Michael Venom Page at Bellator 158. Without swift medical assistance, it was believed that the injury could have easily been life-threatening. A complete dent in the front of the skull above the nose and eyes. Was writhing in pain on the ground as soon as the knee landed. Might be the most impactful knee and maybe the most impactful strike in MMA history. A fucking sledgehammer. Pereira and Ngannou should fear Prime MVP's knee because it might break the fucking power scales. And its timing is just so freaky, dude. Page was in his degenerate anime man phase at the time, along the lines of Israel Adesanya. Proceeded to put on an Ash Ketchum hat and roll a fake Pokeball at Santos, lying in pain with medical officials around him on the ground. Probably why it took me a long time to like MVP until his first couple of fights in the UFC. Show some respect for a hurt opponent after you just ended his career, you fucking punk. Anyway, that's my opinion on that. This makes me nauseous. Yeah, I probably lost 3 more people just because showing this shit alone. Yeah, I can't believe this dude isn't dead from this knee, to be honest. That it took him that long to give him medical attention. You see how it's getting sort of tough putting all these injuries in S tier at the same time, Skatesman? Because they're all so bad. Like, I mean, he recovered, I guess, but this ended his career, full stop. So, where are we ranking it, guys? I'm assuming S, but we'll see what you guys think. It's visually repulsive and just like threatening. And just like yeah, everybody's afraid of this now. So I'm yeah. I want to say S, but A at the lowest. Yeah, I'd say S. Hank, you should join No Chill Stream whenever you're done. I'm good, man. We're celebrating. Yeah, I'm just ready to head to bed and relax because honestly, I did a lot of work today. I'm just stressed. So honestly, I'm using the stream to take my mind off of it. Anyway, let's put this in S tier. Yeah. At some point, we're gonna have to move the injuries around, or I'll have some ones that are more tame. Yeah. Do you think that the fucking skull injury of Cyborg Santos should get S tier, Cheddarhead? Tell me. I think it's S. Anyway, let's keep going. Yeah, this one's more recent. You guys will remember. You guys know this one. Here we go. God. Ooh, God. Yeah, it's like a jump scare. Everybody's gonna fucking flee the theater when I show this shit. S tier is justified. Yeah. B tier for Robert Whitaker's jaw. It's definitely one of the nastiest photos of an injury after a fight, but in terms of like he got his teeth fixed right away afterwards, and this injury didn't last forever. But Robert Whitaker had his teeth pushed in by Khamzat Chimaev at UFC 308. Brutal face crank, tapped in seconds. Teeth were already loose going into the fight, but got pushed in by the Dagestani grip strength of the Venus flytrap from Chechnya. Khamzat Chimaev, gruesome photo of Whitaker's teeth. One of the nastiest because you can see everything in there, and will likely do long-term damage to Robert Whitaker, even though they were fixed. He had teeth trouble previously, so that takes it down a little bit. You just said it, yeah. So does B tier? I think B tier makes sense. Yeah, YouTube doctor said he should be fine in a few months. Okay, for that reason, do you think it could honestly be C tier, or do you think B tier works? B, yeah. It's just so nasty, dude. I can't put it in C tier like that. Ugh. Nasty, man. There's visual versus actual physical long-term pain. All right, there you go. Whitaker's down there. Let's get on to the next injury. Yeah, I'm gonna remember that image of his fucking teeth getting smushed in. That's fucking gross. Yeah, you guys know this one. You should know all of these, honestly. If you're a real hardcore MMA fan. I'm gonna include both of these guys at the same time. Robbie Lawler, ruthless Robbie Lawler, and Rory McDonald. Rory's nose basically getting mashed in, and Robbie's nose getting mashed in too, and then his lips being fucking ripped at the seams. And literally, like, Robbie had to punch McDonald in the nose like 40 times before he went down. So he made sure that his whole nose was just fucking pounded in, no diddy. Rory McDonald suffered a broken nose in the first round against Robbie Lawler at UFC 189 and was already bleeding from the face going into the second round. Over time, his nose broke in multiple places to the point where it would be understandable if you thought his nose had been cut off or fully smashed in. Eventually, an accumulation of damage to the nose made Rory quit when he was up on the scorecards, which makes it even more tragic. Later on, he would break his nose again against Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. Poor guy's nose couldn't catch a break. And Robbie got his face fucking ripped up. So, albeit no chill stream, it'll be fun if you joined. If not, good night, man. Might as well give the people what they want. Hey, Goral. Yeah, bloody, bloody, bloody. Now, both men, they would somewhat recover from this. I mean, you know. But then again, Rory's nose still got busted open later on. Robbie never really suffered long-term damage from it. They fought like monsters, absolute animals, so tough. But where do you think this ranks in terms of injuries? The only thing that really makes it go up a little bit is that Rory got it broken twice, but at the same time, I don't think this is like debilitating stuff, you know? A, wow. Hey girl thinks it's A. Okay. You think that this is above Whitaker with his tonsil troubles? I'll try to go with what the crowd wants. I'll try it. Yeah, I'll go with A. There we go. Sure, why not? That is one of the greatest fights of all time. Even though it got started very slowly, it ramped up. And honestly, the image of them in the hospital with Rory having the like nose plugs up there and Robbie's lips just all over the place, it's just gross, man. His nose was never the same. Said that contributed to his retirement. There you go. That's why I ranked it higher. All right, sounds good. Yeah. Rogan said that's the same nose he broke in the Lawler fight when Wonder Boy broke Rory McDonald's nose with the wheel kick. That's the same nose. Oh my God, it wasn't the first nose. It was the second nose he had on. He had it replaced in plastic surgery. That's why there were multiple. That's the same nostril that got hit with a punch from Robbie Lawler. I can't believe it. Unbelievable. I'm sure McDonald has a few spare noses in his closet or his garage, you know. So, God, Joe Rogan, he really is honestly one of the worst commentators in MMA history when you really think about it. There's just so, like, honestly, the amount of gaffes he's had in the modern day are like reaching the levels of Mike Goldberg. So you can't even say that Rogan was better than Goldberg because at least Goldberg keeps it professional. He never sold himself out. He's sort of like, I think people really don't give Goldberg enough credit because I think he fit the role of a John Anik when he was commentating just so seamlessly. I mean, he had his moments where, he said something that sounds like a casual, but like everybody remembers the catchphrases. He said the perfect things at the perfect time when there were big title wins or moments, just like Anik does, you know? And Joe Rogan was great in the early days, but I think he's just ruined his reputation. Well, I think Goldberg's reputation is pretty much intact. So I'll always rate Goldberg higher than most people have him. All right, A tier for poor old Rory. Oh boy, here comes the one a few people were mentioning. Oh, Black Betty, bam, bam. Sheesh. It's so zoomed in too. God, it doesn't even look real. Looks like a claymation figure. It doesn't look physically possible. It's like legitimately Jello. It looks like a work of Salvador Dali or like Pablo Picasso. Surrealist work of art. How the fuck is that a real injury? God, it's so nasty. Corey Hill snapped his tibia and fibula when he kicked Dale Hart on a UFC Fight Night card in 2008. Turned his leg into rubber. And then 7 years later, he was dead from pneumonia. You almost want to think that like accumulation of damage could have led to like some serious health problems for him. And I can't help but think that this contributed to it a little bit. Bad, man, bad. I mean, yeah. Hey Girl's literally melting. This is so fucking disgusting. This is why I said like be careful how many injuries you put up in S tier, because God almighty. I'd put this in S tier. Maybe this is one of those fucking tier lists where you have to add a whole nother section, you know? Maybe like the cemetery or something, you know? Ugh. Definitely an S tier, but the question is whether we add a whole nother section for this shit or not. Oh, Black Betty. Bam, bam. All right, guys, I need an answer. I'll fucking make the decision myself, honestly. I know what to do. Oof. I don't know. Yeah, we'll see. We'll complete the list and then we'll make our decision. Christ on a bike. All right. Maybe for the ones that are really, really bad, like and should result in death, we'll have the cemetery. Next up, somebody mentioned this before. Ooh, take a look at this handsome fellow. Good old Matt Mitrione. I believe who is it? Who mentioned it? Let me scroll up just to make sure I know. Miguel 4 Productions. He called it this one. Broken orbital bone in his right eye, Looks like he had makeup applied to his face by Tom Savini, swelling on his eye the size of a baseball, poked in the eye twice by Matt Brown, no point deduction, took down a half blind man and beat him by ground and pound TKO. So Brown beat a guy who should have already been out of there. And should have honestly, Matt Brown should have been disqualified for eye poking Mitrione to this extent. Fans hated Travis Brown after this, and the eye still looks super purple afterwards. So yeah, this looks like a 1980s horror movie, like body horror, you know. God, and he goes like wide eyed too. This is a crazy ass shot, to be honest. Now it did recover. Honestly, it's like it's on the level of maybe Joanna or even Whitaker. But what do you think? Where does this one go? I'm thinking cut me, cut me. Come on, Rocky. You spit hot fire. You're gonna kill him. You're a madman. Cut me, cut me. No, Rocky, don't you see? You only make it worse. Cut me. Oh. Yeah, you'd probably see that a lot in boxing, but then again, it is a movie, so I don't know. Cut me, cut me. It's a broken orbital. He came back from it. Like it's not super accumulation of damage. I think I'd put it in B tier. I think it belongs in B tier. What do you guys think? B, since it didn't cause long-term damage. Yeah, exactly. That's a good point. Agree. Yeah, B is good. Let's keep moving on since a lot of people are focused on something that's beyond MMA. It's clear to see. Here we go. Yes. Yeah, here's the next one. Someone mentioned this one. Ugh. God almighty. God, it was just a perfect shot, too. Ugh. Twisted up backwards. Almost ripped itself off. Reminds me of that baseball player who had to catch a ball and he went out into a wire fence and he grabbed it and it just ripped his hand and his fingers to fucking shreds, you know. And honestly, like I shouldn't feel bad for John Jones at all, and I don't. And honestly, I wish that this fight had continued so that Chael Sonnen could have beaten him. Because if he'd have kept going with that broken toe, I think he would have eventually lost balance, probably gotten destroyed. But that didn't happen, and he was able to knee Chael Sonnen a bunch and beat him beforehand. But if he'd have kept going with that broken toe and Chael had survived, I don't know how that fight would have gone. This, like I said in this description, this is the closest we've come to seeing John Jones lose. If Chael had survived the first round, who knows how the fight goes. Toe almost got ripped clean off. I wish it had, and he just bled out on the mat. Undefeated, undisputed light heavyweight champion, Chael Sonnen. So, and where do you rank the toe injury of John Jones? I mean, when you think about it, guys, he's always had sort of a limp in that foot ever since, especially like at heavyweight. He looked odd on the feet. He had a problem with his toe. He's always kept that problem with his toe ever since. So, like Whitaker's going to heal up. The orbital's going to heal up. I don't think that toe has ever really healed up since. Don't feel pressured to stay, Hank. You can rest and relax if you need to. It's all good. I got to finish up this list. So I'm going to do what I'm going to do. I honestly need to just pass the time. So, let's see. I think I honestly could put this in A because it's stayed with them since. But do you think B is better? Genuine question. I think it could go in A. I honestly could see it go in the bottom of A. And I feel bad that I have to put it in A because I fucking hate John Jones. I don't want to rate anything involved with him to a high degree, but it is what it is, right? Eventually, when I pick one of these favorites to win, they're going to lose. Or ones that I dislike, favorites that I dislike. It's gonna come one of these days. I just gotta wait and wait and wait and wait and wait and wait. Sure, A works. All right. Yeah, that makes sense. Good thinking, hey girl. All right, now the script's out the window. Then now we're gonna do sort of a rapid fire list of injuries. Um, Aspinall knee, McGregor leg, Silva eye poke, um, Hill his arm, and then the lost ear. I feel like I'm gonna narrow it down to hmm. I'm gonna have McGregor leg since it put him out of action for so long. Um, Silva eye poke. I have the same logic for Mitrione. I don't think I'm going to change that. What's more brutal? You think Nogueira's arm breaking or Jamal Hill's arm breaking? And then the ear. I'm obviously going to include that. Aspinall knee. He fully recovered from. You know, I already have a knee injury. Let me upload these list of injuries. Hold on. There we go. Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor. There we go. Honestly, there's no brutal image of Conor McGregor with the snapped leg. Ooh, actually, I do see it. I see it. Ooh, there it is. Ooh. Here we go. It ain't over, P-head. Joe Lee's wife. Joe Lee's wife. At least we got a good Conor moment out of it. And then... There we go. And then Hill arm or Nogueira arm. Then I'll find the ear that almost ripped off. Ripped off. Ooh. Let me grab the ear. Yeah, grab the ear. It's almost fucking hanging off. Ramiz. Brahimaj. Ooh. Yikes. Max Griffin caused that? Seriously? Max Griffin of all fucking fighters? Christ almighty. All right. There we go. Now I'm ready to finish up rapid fire. Ooh. One more. Ooh. Two. Yeesh. And then let's see Nogueira. Let's see if Nogueira's arm. I think Nogueira's is probably the worst. He'll bounce back. Nogueira didn't. Arm mirror. Oh, yikes. Yeah, that's it. Here we go. All right. Finally, almost there. Sorry. Here we go. Booyah. All right. That's it. That's my whole list. So time to rank the smaller ones. Let's start with Marib. Tyron Woodley breaking his ribs against Colby. It's pretty funny. You know, Woodley didn't look that great afterwards. Who's your favorite fighter? Nate the Train. It's Nate the Train. And I'm so happy that he's booked against Korean Superboy Doo-Ho Choi as well. Happy about that. Thoughts on Aljo versus Evloev? I think Evloev probably beats Aljo. I don't know. I just think Evloev finds a way to win his fights. Cracks me up every time. Yeah, UFC's always treating me badly. And Colby Covington, he's nothing like me. And I'm a true hero for the people at welterweight. And he recovered from the rib injury too. I don't know, I think this is C tier. I think people would find it funny, so it takes away from like the brutal aspects of it, you know. It's more like levity that he gets the rib break. You know what I'm saying? B or C, he recovered and is perfectly fine, but that was hilarious. Yeah, and it's funny, so it's not even brutal. Stop the steal. What, are you saying that I'm saying that, or is the tide turned? What are you talking about? God, no chill. Always talking about fucking politics in the chat. I'm talking about MMA injuries right now. And honestly, I'm gonna say this, dude, and I'll probably show up on your podcast too, and I'll concede fucking defeat. Well, Kamala coming back big. Oh, no fucking way. Are you kidding me? Oh shit, you are you actually are you fucking with me right now? You can tell me. You can tell me. Are you because you let's be honest, you've lied to me before, but are you serious right now? I might actually have a reason to actually give me a reason to actually say something in your chat too. And I'm not going to be fucking, overly depressed or angry or overly, obnoxious or egotistical, but are you being true? Yeah, exactly, Hank. Yeah, I think it's the fact that it's funny. I'm going to put it at C tier. This is interesting news. Let's get to the next injury. And I'm going to show up in your stream too, No Chill, so you could update me on what's going on. Let's get to oh shit. How about Alistair Overeem? That lip. Damn boy, he thick. Ew. Look at that, man. Stop steal. Ah! All right, so Alistair Overeem. Look at that lip. Yuck. Yuck. Where does it go? That is nasty. It's on the same level as Robbie Lawler, right? Like his lip injury. That KO broke my heart. Who was it even against? Was it against Ngannou? Alistair Overeem ripped lip. Yeah, who did it? No, it was Rosenstruik. Yeah, it was Rosenstruik. That was super depressing. Yeah. Why was it? I mean, No Chill's obviously happy about that because it was Biggie Boy. And so he's happy about Biggie Boy for sure. And ripped lip. Yeah. Where do you think it goes? Does it go in A tier or does it go a little bit below? Because he has fixed himself up afterwards. He recovered. He bounced back in his career. I'm honestly thinking B tier for this because it's not funny. It's actually really disturbing. But he did come back and he's looked pretty good. It healed, so agree with B. Yeah, B makes sense. I hope No Chill's being serious with me and he's not pulling my leg. There we go. That ripped lip. Yikes, Rooney. All right. Next injury. Carlos Condit. Order to the front. Ouch. Against who? Who did he face? Carlos Condit knee injury. Tyron Woodley. Look at how the chain starts, guys. Tyron Woodley has that brutal knee injury, rib injury against Colby Covington, and he's the cause of fucking Condit's leg injury. I'm telling you, all these guys that get the most brutal injuries are the ones who deliver the most brutal injuries too. It's a repetitive cycle. It's a big fucking cycle and food chain. You know, the strong kill the strong, and they just keep killing each other. Woodley, right? Crazy that it's Woodley who did that. But honestly, was it Woodley, or did Carlos just take a wrong step? I forget what happened. Let me look that up, actually. Who caused it? Condit knee. During his fight. Once the knee was healed. Yeah, they never say how it happened. Second round takedown. Ooh! Kicked his other leg. Oh, a takedown did it. God, these takedowns, they can really mess you up, dude. It popped TJ Dillashaw's shoulder. That was crazy. All right. Carlos Condit, man. His career was never the same again, so he didn't recover. So I mean, don't you think that's an A tier if it's so nasty that it puts off an MMA fighter's career? S. Wow. Yikes. And it's especially sad because it's Condit, right? A lot of, I don't think I've ever seen an MMA fan say a bad word about Carlos Condit. So maybe that makes this thing more tragic. I'll put that in S. Yeah, I'll definitely join No Chill's stream later, especially if it's better news. So I was accepting defeat for sure. A will work also. I'll go with Hey Girl's logic since she's been with me the entire time. S is fine by me. Because to be honest, all of these are fucking tragic. Let's be honest. Or most of them. Oh man, how is this a real injury? Ah! Monster! Hideous, hideous monster! Jesus, like that has to be prosthetic makeup, right? Like, how does that injury exist? And who did it? Who did it? Was it Neil again? Dude, if it's Neil, or was it Luque? Luque did it, didn't he? Mike Perry. Nose injury. It's Luque, right? Yeah, it was Luque. Luque did it. Look at this dude, man. The chain. What did I tell you guys? It's a cycle. They all destroy each other. The ones with the most brutal injuries brutally injure the others. God, this sport's so fucking ruthless, man. Robbie Lawler. That is so bad. Like he recovered from it, so. But I feel like for visuals alone, that thing's worth A tier. You know? I mean, maybe Bobby Knuckles' injury looks horrible, and guess that's still a B tier. He came back and had a fantastic career outside the UFC. Let's be honest, guys. Maybe this nose injury was actually a fucking blessing for what it did to this guy's career. But at the same time, like, God, look at that dude. That's the most visually brutal of the bunch. Like, I'm serious. Like just for disgusting, its disgusting nature alone, it's like it belongs up there. Geez, nose injuries make me weak. I can't handle seeing these. Yeah. I hope that No Chill is telling me the truth. Anyway, yeah, I need to put it at A tier. For my own sanity, I need to put that at A tier. Oh. God, man. That's A. That's an A. There you go. That's the nose injury. We got 3 more. If it makes you guys feel any better, we got 3 more. We're almost there. We have almost reached the promised land, Beavis. Boom. Ba-da-dum-dum-doo-doo-doo-doo. Yikes. Bring to the front. God. I think they just want you on his live. Well, to be honest. He's leading in all polls currently. Okay, so they're just tricking me so I can get back on. I see. He's so manipulative, dude. He really is sort of a piece of work, to be honest. I wasn't even trying to talk about politics, and he just keeps going with it, dude. Like just for that alone, if it's not true, and I'm gonna check. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna check. And if he's bullshitting me, I'm not gonna show up. If he's trying to do those sorts of fucking tactics to get me on the stream, yeah, what a dick. Anyway, McGregor injury. God, look at that, dude. Ankle bent backwards. I mean, that's on a similar level to Silva and Weidman, right? Like, it's lower, but at the same time, we got Jolie's wife out of it in the stretcher, but then again, McGregor's career has never really been the same since. He hasn't even returned since. So, yeah, I don't know. I haven't checked for a few minutes. Okay. Let's see. Probably God, and it's ruined his career too. But I don't view it on the same level as a Condit. You know what I'm saying? Like for other reasons, obviously McGregor's not fighting. It's not just the ankle. I feel like it's another A tier in my opinion. I could be wrong, but I think A tier fits. What do you think? Let me make it smaller. Nasty work. Well, now it's taking a while to load. Uh-oh. I might be having an injury soon. Yeah, A tier? Okay, good. I'll move it for a second. Hope No Chill isn't bullshitting me. Probably is. I'll check on Discord. He might have sent me a message. Yeah, A tier for McGregor because there's a little bit of comedic relief there, if you could even call it that. And then here we go. Brutal arm slicer from Kimura from Frank Mir that broke Nogueira's arm. Yikes, that is clearly bent backwards. Did Minotaur get a win afterwards? I'm pretty sure he did, though. He got a win. Actually, let me check Minotaur and Nogueira. Yeah, let me look at his career. He's a very underrated guy. He's had a fantastic career in Pride and elsewhere. Let me see if he got a win. 34-10, he had to have, right? Yeah, he was good enough that he couldn't. Yeah, he got sub. He beat Frank Herman after that with an armbar, and then it was all downhill from there. Ooh, no, he never recovered. Shite. Probably never punched the same. Probably another case of A tier, but it could be worse. A. Yeah, I think A is best. Yeah. you go. Last one, guys. Last one. Actually, let me. God, I can't even. Oh, Jesus. I'm gonna move this a little bit because I think I know where this last one's gonna go, guys. It'd be stupid if I didn't put it where it belongs. Yeah, just take a look at this. Don't even need to explain it. Skatesman had a good point here. Yikes. Whole ear almost ripped off. Whole ear. Look at that. Ugh. Can't even really see it. Just a giant chunk of gore. Yeah, it looks almost completely ripped off. I see a piece of it. Yeah, God almighty. That is raw meat right there. I mean, maybe he recovered. Let me check. Bromage, right? Brahimaj, Ramiz Brahimaj. Let me look at his record afterwards. Yeah, he beat Michael Gilmore. Rear naked choke. I mean, he had a few wins. He didn't outright get finished, so it's not like his career was completely destroyed by this. Losing to Court McGee and Themba Garimbo isn't great either. That's just visually nasty. But where do we put it? Maybe I mean it's sort of similar to the cranial injury where it's like he could have legitimately lost an ear if nothing was done. Like severe to the point where like guy's life might literally be at stake. So I think S is best. I think S works. What do you think? Messy stuff. I think I know what to do. Am I right? Hey, girl, am I right? I'm pretty sure I'm right here. I'm honestly glad this tier list is almost over because it's starting to give me the creeps. Sort of looking at it. I've created a monster. I'll be honest, guys. Rolling in and out of love, in and out of love with you. There you go. That's my Hall of Pain, dude. Hall of Pain from Hank the Tank. Disgusting. Despicable. Nasty. There you have it. Honestly, I'm surprised there weren't a lot of injuries in C tier, but to be honest, the C tier injuries are average, right? Like, fighters deal with them all the time. What I'm talking about here are very unique injuries, so maybe that's why Woodley's is so down low, too slow. I think I made a pretty fair and accurate list for the most part. That's good. And I don't want to really add too much to it, aside from maybe Hill's broken arm, but I already mentioned Nogueira. So, God, I feel bad for whoever had to watch all these injuries live. What a beautiful list. Yes. A beautiful, dark, twisted fantasy, if you will. Hey, man, Kanye West, I'm so happy for you. Hey, girl, I'm going to let you finish. But Hank the Tank had the greatest tier list of all time. So, there you go. Good old Kanye here for his support. Where's No Chill? I need an explanation from No Chill. He's got to be trolling, right? Yeah. Does anybody else have anything to add to this incredible list, or should I sign off and go relax a little bit? I vouch for the latter. I've done my dirty work. Know what I'm saying? Brian Battle levels of know what I'm saying? Yeah, I can maybe zoom in a little bit so you guys can see. Oops. Woodley's down there. Funny. Oh. I got 7 people in here. That's pretty good. What do you want to talk about, guys? I got 7 people in here. I know you're here. So, what do you got to say? Get some rest? That is true. Maybe 9 more minutes. 9 more minutes. And then I can take a rest. If nobody else comments other than "Hey girl," and I know it's fake, then I'll give you 5 more minutes. 5 more minutes to say something. But to recap, I got Vicente Luque with a subdural hematoma. Got Michael Bisping, where are you? With his destroyed eye. I have Anderson Silva and Chris Weidman breaking each other's legs. Got Evangelista Cyborg Santos with a dent in his skull. I have another leg break. I don't even want to mention it. Got Chris Condit destroying his knee. Got Brahimaj ripping his entire ear off. Joanna Jędrzejczyk with Megamind skull. Rory McDonald had a farm. E-I-E-I-O. And on that farm, he broke his nose. E-I-E-I-O. John knows. The John knows, guys. I got to have John knows on my podcast. He's a fellow Bobbala who loves lox on his bagels and matzo ball soup. Isn't that right, John knows? Yeah. You're so right, Ariel. My nose is tearing me apart, Lisa. Also, my nose is dead. He called him Chris Condit. Yeah, it's Carlos. Sorry. Mike Perry just having his nose smashed in. Conor McGregor having his ankle tuned like a... Oh, Jesus, you're right. Picked by like a fine-toothed comb. Or what is even the word for it? God damn it. Frank Mir snapping the arm of Minotauro Nogueira. Robert Whittaker getting his teeth pushed in. Matt Mitrione with the eyeball from hell. Alistair Overeem having his lips ripped apart. And then Tyron Woodley. Oh, my rib. Jumped in views. Hank, you're tired. You called him Chris Condit. Yeah. Honestly amazed that I'm even aware of my surroundings at this point. That I'm even alive at all, to be honest. I haven't died from misery. But, yeah, that's it. That's it for the list. So, there you go. I think I'm going to head out, guys. It's nice chatting with you all. You helped me through a tough night. Maybe it'll be a little better as time goes on. Who knows? But, yeah, I'm going to head out. It's nice chatting with you guys. And I'll see you all tomorrow for Hank's Think Tank. Keeping up the damn podcast, folks. I'm busy as ever. And I'm motivated as ever, which is a good thing. But until we meet again, troopers and grinders, you have escaped the war zone for now. I'm really happy for you, troopers and grinders. I'm going to let you finish. But Tyron Woodley had the greatest rap album of all time. Moving in and out of love with you. Ah! What's wrong, Woodley? You fell down the stairs, Grandpa. Oh, my hip. I have fallen, and I can't get up.